Hello viewers, welcome back to our channel Smart Data Learners, a project by datascientist.ca. Today we will be working on a Power BI case study that is about healthcare patient wait list analysis dashboard. Power BI portfolio case study interactive healthcare analytics. So we will also welcome to Happy New Year. Also welcome to this project and the Happy New Year 2026. This is the very beginning of 2026. So let's start our case study. So basically, this case study is about Power BI analytics, Power BI interactive healthcare analytics. So we'll go through the business problem first. The business problem is healthcare providers face challenges managing patient wait list across multiple services, specialities, and age groups. Limited visibility into wait times and patient flow restrict effective decision making, resource allocation, and capacity planning. Project objective to develop an interactive Power BI dashboard that deliver clear visibility into patient wait lists, enable trend analysis, sports data-driven healthcare operations. Solution overview. Solution overview is an end-to-end Power BI solution was designed and using optimized data modeling, interactive filtering, and intuitive visualization for at a glance uh, reading of the data. The dashboard supports both high-level KPI monitoring and detailed operational analysis. Key features: dynamic date filters, analyzed historical waitlist trends, case type analysis, day cases, inpatient and outpatient comparison, age and specialty insights, patient distribution by demographics, wait time bands, identify delays and bottlenecks, KPI and year-over-year trends, current versus previous year comparison, tools and techniques, Power BI dashboard and visualization, Power Query, data cleaning and transformation, Excel, CSV, source data, data modeling, star schema, fact and dimension tables, outcome and impact. The dashboard improves visibility into patient wait lists, highlight high pressure specialties, enables healthcare stakeholders to make informed, data-driven operational decisions. Business challenge. Healthcare organizations managing thousands, hundreds and thousands of patients across multiple services and specialties. However, patient flow and demographic trends make it difficult to identify bottlenecks, prioritize high-pressure specialties, allocate resource efficiency. Decision makers require a clear, interactive, and data-driven view of patient wait lists to improve operational performance and patient outcomes. Project objective. The goal of this project was to build a dynamic Power BI dashboard that enables healthcare stakeholders to monitor patient wait lists across day case, inpatient, and outpatient services, compare current versus previous year performance, support data-driven planning and decision-making. Solution overview. Uh, I designed and developed an end-to-end Power BI analytics solution that transforms raw waitlist data into a meaningful insights. The dashboard combines strong data modeling, interactive filtering and slicing, clear visual storytelling. This allows users to seamlessly switch between high-level KPIs and detailed operational insights. Key dashboard features: dynamic date filtering, case type comparison, side-by-side analysis of day cases, inpatient and outpatient volumes, specialty and age group analysis, patient distribution across clinical specialty and age bands. For example, age bands are 0 to 15 years of age child, 16 to 64 are like adults, and 65 plus are seniors. Wait time band insights. Visual breakdown of time spent waiting to uncover service delays and bottlenecks. KPIs and year-over-year trends. Quick comparison of total waitlist counts for current and previous year. Optimized data model star schema that is a fact table and a dimension table for improved performance and scalability. Dashboard walkthrough. Summary view, high level KPIs highlighting waitlist volumes, percentage distribution of patient case types, bar charts showing wait times and age groups, monthly trend analysis by case types, and we also developed some highlighting the in other words, we also say the heat map or highlighting these data points. Detailed analysis view. Drill down by date, specialty, case type, and age group. Monthly waitlist distribution by months waited. Tools and technologies. Tools are our Power BI interactive dashboard and data visualization. Power Query, data cleaning, transformation, and shaping. Excel or CSV source data with minimal processing, data modeling, key insights and delivered. This dashboard empowers healthcare teams to identify high pressure specialties, track patient demand trends over time, understand wait time impact across age groups, uh, improve capacity planning and service efficiency. Final thoughts. The patient wait list analysis dashboard delivers a scalable, visually engaging, and insight driven solution for healthcare analytics. By covering complex operational data into clear, actionable insights, this project demonstrates strong capabilities in Power BI development, data modeling, analytical storytelling, business focused reporting. So, with that is the overview of this project. So, let's go through the completed project, and then we will start working on it. So we'll now go through the completed project. So viewers, this is our complete project. The data is basically publicly available data, and this data has been patient wait list and waitlist data, raw data has been utilized in this. So let's go through this dashboard. So basically this dashboard, this page is a summary page, and in this summary page we have latest month per year, latest month waitlist comparison with the same month previous year, right? So let's basically in the current year we have 708,729 inpatient waitlist in the month of March 30. So March 31st, right? It's the latest current, and that was the previous year, same period previous year. Let's go through with that. Okay, so let me show you the first of all we will see the raw. We'll show you how this has been calculated. Let's see. So you see, we have. So we'll see the latest data in 2021. We have the March of 2021, right? So that is 70729. So in this dashboard, we show 708,729 is the March data 2021, and this is the latest we have, max the latest month data, and this is being compared with the March of 2020. So in the March of 2020 last year, we have 640,441. It means waitlist has increased in the month of March. We increase that. This is being compared with this March of 2021 is compared with the March of 2020. So let's see. If in the March of 2020 we have 640441. So this is a KPI, first KPI, we have high level overview of what's been going on. So basically what it shows is that wait list has been increased, right, by 10%. That's a KPI. It's being increased, which is not, I think more people in the wait list have been increased. So which is not a good sign and from the last year. So that's why it's showing in the this color. And then we have the filter for years, uh, different years to 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, right? And then we have we can look at the averages and medians. This is we'll go through that, and then we have a average or median wait list by case type, right? So the case types are outpatient, day cases, inpatient. And you see the outpatients are the most of these are outpatients, and the day and inpatient are lesser, almost 80% are outpatients. And then we have this time bands, and in these time bands we will at a glance information shows us uh, waiting time bands 0 to 3 months, 12 to 15 months, 15 to 18 months, 18 plus months, 3 to 6 months, and so on. Okay, so basically what it shows is average or median wait time. So right now we are looking at the average. So average, you see, these are the time bands, how many months they have waited, how many, like in this time band, how many wait list, how many patients are in this time bands on average, 15 months, 18 plus, 3 to 6, and so on. And then we have the age groups, 16 to 64, 115, and 65 plus. And you see another, you see, if visually look, you see there are some are darker columns, some are lighter columns. So that is basically visually uh, easy to at a glance information reading. These are very useful. This color highlighting is very useful in going through the data at a glance. So you see, at a glance, you see there are darker areas have more numbers than the lighter ones. So that was the main goal. Uh, we have categorized the data, but also we have make it visually more ergonomically reading, ergonomically easy, or what I would say is easier for our eyes to go through the data, right? And then we have gone through this, and then we have a top five wait lists by specialty. You see that dermatology has the most patients, general surgery, ophthalmology, orthopedic, and ortho ENT. That is so that we can see at the top five list overall on average, right? And then we have the case types, day cases and inpatient. So the day cases are more than the inpatients, as we can see from here. And then we have the outpatients, which are way more than 80% of the total wait lists. And we can also look at the data by median of these numbers, right? We can look into that. So if we look at the median, you see that's how these numbers are now changed to show the median of wait lists, patient wait list. So if you have any question, leave the comments, and we'll now go to the detailed of this data in the next two pages. These are the averages. These are the median. These are two statistical way of looking at the numbers. And now we can look at the inpatient and day patients. We combined the inpatient and day patients together because they are more closer to in numbers. And outpatient, we have make a separate page for that. So just we'll look at the inpatient and day patients. You see here again, we have visually at a glance information, we can see that the darker areas have more numbers, and then there we have these months, and these you see in 0 to 3 months we have the most cases, followed by 3 to 6 months. Here we have different months of various years. These are changing, so that's why it has different shades in this line, and so on, right? The purpose is to highlighting is to at a glance reading of this these numbers. We can focus on what areas we should focus, where there are more high numbers, right? For example, if we go there and we can look at that active date is Wednesday, January 31st, 2018, and time band is 0 to 3 months, and so on. So we can further drill down that. Let's see. For example, for January of 2018. So you viewed this. Let me just one more thing I want to explain is these are the last date of the every month, right? So we'll look at that. You see, when we drilled it down, we see that 16 and 64 overall. We see that in general surgery, there are 16 and 64 in 0 to 3 months needs attention because it's highlighted as compared to the remaining remaining numbers. And we can further for example, in cardiology, we have it has been numbers are highlighted here because the numbers are more in cardiology, and general medicine. It's general surgery, orthopedics, ophthalmology. You see, we have top, these are here. Ophthalmology is also here. So that's how this data is in detail. These highlighted areas attracts our attention to see what's happening here as compared to the other specialty where we see lesser numbers. So that's how we can scroll and see what's, and then we can further look into the next one also. We can drill down and we can see what areas needs more attention. And then we have the outpatients. So in the outpatients, there are most numbers here, and you see there's a different shades in these numbers. In the outpatient, we see 18 months. We have in 2021 we have most cases, and then it's going lesser darker, and in so that's how this data is, and we can further drill down from by month. ENT we see in 18 plus months are most cases. Overall, ENT has a lot of cases. And then in general surgery, we see that in general surgery, 0 to 3 months for 16 and 64, and so on. So this highlighting feature is a very powerful feature in Power BI where we can look into the data and prioritize the areas where we need which need most attention, and then go to the remaining areas as well. Okay, viewers, so we have gone through this dashboard. These are the 3 pages we will complete: outpatient, inpatient, and day patient, and the summary. So we'll see you in the next session to start working on this dashboard. Thank you. And if you have any questions, please leave comments. And also don't forget to subscribe our channel. Hello viewers, welcome back to our next session. Now in this session, we will complete the already described dashboard project. So we'll complete this in a new Power BI as a new Power BI project. So let's begin. So first of all, we'll open a new file. Okay, so this is our new file, and we'll first of all we will save it. We'll give it a name. Hospital case list analysis dashboard, right? So we'll always give a date. Today's date is 2nd Jan 2026. Okay, so we have saved this file, and first step is to import the data. So it's, the data for this project is residing in multiple files. Let me show you first. So we'll get data. So in this, because since these are multiple files, let me first of all show you. You see these in, if we go to the data, these are inpatient and outpatients. So in the inpatients, there are multiple years data, and these are outpatients, these multiple years of data. And if we look at the data further, this data has the same structure, means like same columns. Let's see. You see, we have archive, specialty case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So these are same columns, same names. Right? That is 2018. If we look at the other one, it is always good to check the data before. So basically, we these are the same structure. So what we will do is, uh, these are the mapping and the specialty, respiratory, and all that. Okay. So let's import these. Now in this we will not importing each file, but we will use a folder connector, right? Just close that, and we'll go through the folder. We'll connect. We'll browse it, and then we'll go to the we'll combine. We'll first import inpatient. So basically, what we'll do is we'll combine these. Combine and load. We'll combine and load the data. We'll say okay. Let's have this data in the transformation, and then we'll see. If you remember, when there are similar file structure spanning of multiple years, usually that happens, and they're in one folder, then we can connect with through the folder. So this data is loaded here, inpatient. Now we'll get the outpatient, same method, folder. we'll do okay. And there is one more file, you see, we need it or not, but we'll import it. And we'll always save what you do, always save. And then now we'll go to the transformation tab. You see, if we look at the data in the in inpatient, we have source name, archive, date, specialty underscore name, case type, child, adult or child. We have age profiles, and then we have time bands, and then we have the totals. And if you look at the outpatient, you see one thing I noticed, that it's instead of specialty name, it's a specialty only. So we need to combine both of this data together, and what we can do is, instead of specialty, we'll change it to specialty underscore name, or we can just simply copy the name, specialty underscore name. And let's see what else we have. Case types, that is between adult underscore child, and specialty. So let's see in the outpatient. You see, we don't have that column. So basically, what we'll do is we'll insert we'll basically insert a column, custom column, and we'll give this name. Let's see what column they have is case underscore type. Case underscore type. Case underscore type is equal to, these are outpatient. So we'll bring it here. That is between spatiality and adult underscore child. Okay, spatiality and adult underscore type, it's outpatient. Okay, so next thing we will want to see, you see that these dates are not in a proper format, right? These are showing a text. So first we'll change these dates from the inpatient and we'll use this function, local function, always use this. Okay, and the same thing goes here. Oh, you see this is giving us error, so we'll change it to let's do that again. If we, in case we make any error, we can remove it from the sidebar. Change to, okay. So the dates, both shows the dates, you see the dates type. Mhm. Well, let's see what else, if there is anything else we need to change. Now let's we'll see one more thing we can do is in the inpatient. In the format, we will trim these so that there must not be an empty spaces. Okay. Hello. So viewers, these are very important steps. We always trim these any leading or spaces or any spacing between these. These are the essential parts. So see, we have three categories now: 0, 15. We have three categories, right? Okay. So the next thing now we do is we'll see the time bands. So in the time band, same thing we'll do format and trim. Always first we will trim these and then we'll see what we have here. We have 18 plus months. All are unique. Okay. Let's see in the outpatient what we have. First we'll do that is formatting. We'll see what they have here. You see, in this outpatients, we have 0 to 3, 12 to 15, 15 to 18, and hmm, 18 plus and 18 months plus. So we'll write it down. Months plus 18 plus months. Let's replace these. We have to replace values. Replace we can replace 18 plus months with the months plus. Let's do that. We'll look into that. All of these are unique now. You see, these are okay. And in the inpatient, okay, basically we would need same like with the inpatient. You see, in the inpatient, we have 18 plus and then space months, right? So we'll write it down here, space months. So we'll go to the outpatient. We have 18 months and plus. Okay, so we'll replace that. Eighteen plus 18 plus. Okay, let's see what it shows. You see 18 plus months in the outpatient, and let's see what's in the 18 plus months here. Now we can safely combine these two inpatient or outpatient into one all data table, right? So for that we will need to transform, and then we will have to append as new with the outpatient. You see the steps we have taken before combining these two tables is: number one, we format both of these dates to a date type. Initially, when we saw that these were not in the same in the date format. Number two, we saw we removed the trims with extra spaces between certain categories. Thirdly, we format the time bands look very similar to the each other, right? So let's combine that, inpatient and outpatient. That's very important. Now I think we can safely combine these together. So we have this append one, and we can give it a name, all data, right? And now we'll close and apply. These are very important steps, viewers, because these are the foundation for building a dashboard. If the data is not properly cleaned, properly formatted, the dashboards won't work properly. It could give us errors and so on. Okay, we'll save that now. This is a very important step. Always save because we spent a lot of time, and we'll give this page a summary. Now, in the first step, we combine and format the data. And in the next stage, we need to create some measures. Okay, so let's begin building the measures. For creating measures, we'll create a separate table. In the modeling tab, create a new table, and in this table, we'll give it calculations. In these calculations, we'll store our measures. Okay. So we now for the okay. First of all, we calculate average wait list. So in this table, calculations, we'll create a new measure and we'll give it a name. And we'll copy the same. Now, new measure, which is median. No, it's a median wait list. So we'll create another table. We'll go to the transformation tab. We'll create a table method of calculation or calculation for the calculation method. Here we'll write method, right? And in the data, we'll write down average and median. Okay, and we'll apply that. And we have the calculation method. Sorry, I think we have. So we have two average or median switch between, we can switch between these two values, method, average and median. So basically viewers, if you need more information on this, on these measures, we have created some dedicated videos on that, but right now we'll, which is beyond the scope of this this project. So right now we'll use the this statement. Okay, so we have created this measure also. We have now one, two, three measures. Another measure we would need is the previous year. So in this previous PY latest month wait list, so basically what it will do is it will calculate the latest month's data of this current year, most recent date, most recent month, and then it compare with the last year's. So where all data total, all data archive date, basically this is a table name. This is sum of the totals we will get from all data archive date by archive date. And then edate max all data minus 12 plus 0. Okay, we'll write down, we'll go that, and then in the next step. So basically views, for the DAX, we have created some dedicated videos. You can look into that. Because if we go through step by step all of these measures, perhaps if we'll find a time, we'll explain these more in details, right? So first of all, we'll complete this dashboard. So in this dashboard, we'll first write down the heading. Okay, summary. We'll save that now. And in the first, we'll create key performance, key metrics, KPI, key performance, in so that what's happening here. For this, we'll use the KPI. That's an important graph which shows the comparisons, what the management want to look at a glance. And here we'll use the here we need another measure, that is the latest month. So latest month mean that in this current year's latest month, all data archive date is equal to max all date archive, right? Max is summarize function, so we'll do that. And in this KPI we will use latest month, and we'll use the archive date. So and we'll compare it with the previous year. Target is our previous year, better than before. See, last year's previous, as we already explained in the overview, that's how we go through the data. We compare the same latest month of this year with the last year's month, right? Latest versus last year, same month, comparison. But viewers, here we see it shows green, which is a good sign, but I believe more patients in the wait list is not a good sign. We'll change it to red because it's not a positive, it's I think it's a declining uh, performance, in other words. So we'll format that. In the visual will make a good color. High is not good, low is good. So we'll do that. So now it says it's not a good sign. It's in the red side. If it's a good sign, if it decreased, which means it should be in green color, but that's otherwise. That's what I understand. So we'll save that. Next, we need a year slicer. We'll make these in a tile format. Okay. And next we would need an average. Let's first yeah, average, and we need a slicer here. And in this slicer, we would need the calculation method. And these should also be in a tiles format. Tiles, calculation average, or okay, we'll save that. And here we would need, I think we should go for top 5 specialities first. Okay, so and then we will need average. We need our measure here. And we'll give it a name, top 5 lists. Top 5 wait list by top 5 specialties. We will write down top 5, top 5 specialties by wait list. And the next step we will need is in the filter, we'll go to the top 5 by total wait list. So these are top five specialties. We have that here. And one thing we can do is we can format these. Sorry, we're taking it's taking some time, but we'll go to the home and we'll give it a 0. Okay. So dermatology, general, and so on, right? Top five specialties are here, and then we will go by the next we need is case types. So use the donut chart here, and we use the case types, and in the values, median, and then we need overall. So for the overall, we will use card. And here we will use and in call out values, we'll make it smaller. In the title, overall, and in formatting, we'll Basically, what we can do is overall, we can show the overall metrics here. Overall wait list, right? Median is 13, average is this. Okay. So overall is like this, 54. On average, by dermatology, we have 99 in general surgery, ophthalmology, and so on. Right? Now we'll go to the next. Basically, that is our, we'll use a matrix table. And in the matrix table, let's give it overall wait time. Okay. So in the matrix table, we will use uh, age grouping in the rows, and in the columns, we will use the time band. And in the values, we will use and we don't need totals. We just need to look at the several months. Now, viewers, will make these bit bigger numbers. I think 12 would be good. And for the headings, and for the row headers, okay. Okay. So another thing we can do for the formatting, so it should be more at a glance. We can go through these information at a glance quickly. That was one of the main reason of using dashboards, because number we can see in the spreadsheets, but the dashboard, the main goal of the dashboard is at a glance information, because top management have a shortage of time and more decisions to make, so they need to have a highlighted information. So we can do that it automatically by going to the format tab, and then in the cell element, in the cell elements we'll go for background, but we will use the color of our choice. Light we will give it a white, and the dark we can give it a, let's see how it looks like. Yeah, I think that makes sense now. You see the more numbers where are, the more darker these would be. And one thing we see is that is there's some blank, so we can just exclude. Okay. Now, so that's how we can look into this data. So dashboard is now the next step in the dashboard is our line charts. we can first, we also use the highlighting function. Dermatology, you see, overall, it's taking the most time, and then followed by ENT, ortho, and general surgery. So that's the goal of our dashboard. And if we go to the average, the same thing, and we'll give it a heading. Top 5 with list by specialty. Okay, now makes sense. Top 5 list by specialty. So dermatology is leading that overall on average. And if we go further into the age band and the months, we have that. And next we will use the line charts. Viewers, if there are any questions, please leave these in comments. And I hope this project is making sense. And if there is any confusion, please feel free to leave comments. Okay, so here we'll use in this chart we'll use archive date in the x-axis, and we'll use a archive date, and then we need sum of totals, y-axis, and then we need case types in the legend. And we'll filter that because we don't want to, because you see there is a lot of data in the outpatients, so it doesn't make sense to compare it with these two. So we'll filter that out. Go to the filters. We'll select day cases and inpatient. Okay. we show the data labels. And the same chart we will use for the and for the outpatients. And we'll do that here. Filter. Only the outpatients. Okay. And we give it a name, monthly trend. Case, day, versus outpatients. Okay, and for that we'll give another heading. And we'll give it a time band versus age profile. Okay. Okay, so I think it's done for. Okay, now I think these are properly aligned. Overall wait time, yeah. Okay, but so this is the summary of our wait list, hospital wait list analysis. And in this next section, we'll go to the details of these. You see, we can look into the averages, we can look into the median, and so on. We can look into the yearly data. You see, by years, these shades will be changes accordingly. So what we can do is we can just in the so that won't be affected by the above filters because these are the summary. What we can do is there is another thing we can go to the format. So these three graphs we won't be affected by the selection. So whatever we select, okay. You see now if we go wherever we go, these other numbers will change, but these won't be impacted. We just go to the format and then we'll do that, and then we will get the different needs. So with that, we will consider this to be completed. There are a lot of formatting room available, but which is beyond the scope of this project. We can do it later on in the next video, perhaps. And the next is our detailed session. We'll create here some inpatient details. Inpatient. Inpatient and day patients. So for that, we will first select the dates filter. Is this in this filter we'll use the active date, archive date, and okay, and we'll yeah, that makes sense. And here we will give us copy this and date details. And here we can also use another uh, slicer that is for the spatiality. Mhm. Can use drop down. We can select specialty, and here we will use a matrix table. Make it bigger. And in this we will, in the matrix table, we will use archive date. Archive date in the rows. Okay. And under the archive date, we will use specialty. And under the specialty, we use age profile. And in the values, we will use, and in the column, we will use time bands. And totals would be used in the values, and we'll use these as a these are the totals, and we don't need these. And we'll filter that because this is only the inpatient data, so we'll use filter, and we can use the case type in. Okay, and we don't need these totals. Okay, let's make these totals because these are some of these way. Okay, the next thing we need is we will use the gradient formatting for the cell elements to see the at a glance, because there are a lot of numbers and it's very hard to figure out what are the what needs more attention. So we will go to the formatting tab, and then here we'll quickly go to the cell elements, and in the cell elements we will go to the background color, and in the background color we will use the color for our choice, that is white 2. Let's try the light to the dark. Let's see. You see the darkest ones are needs more attention as compared to the lightest ones. Let's change the format. Dark will make lesser, and this one will also try to okay, now that makes sense. You see these bands are showing different shades, different colors, and at a glance we can see that in 0 to 3 months we have the most cases, and in that certain, and in the 3 to 6 months are also these years 2020. And if we go directly into that, we will see further analysis, further highlighting. For example, in cardiology, will activate their tooltip also. Tooltip. So if we go there, and we'll see that what's happening here. and so on. So more reader friendly. Now we can go through all these things, and here we can also select some specialities. One thing we can also do is sort. We see in the 2020 we have most cases. You can always change the sort, but here we will go for the sort by date, archive date. Okay, so that's another tool we have. We can look into this data uh, and visually see what's happening in overall picture in the inpatient and day patient details. And simply we can copy this and we create another. That will be outpatient. And we'll copy the same. Perhaps we can delete this and just duplicate that, because all the structure is same. You can just have to give it a name, outpatient. It will save a lot of time. Same structure, but in the filtering we will use these are the outpatients now. Okay, and similarly we change the heading. So viewers, I believe we have completed all of these requirements we discussed in the overview of our this project. And if any questions or any queries, please leave in the comments, and we'll just quickly go through, and then we will consider this project to be completed project. Let's see. This is our inpatient data. This is our outpatient data. This is our summary. We can look at the data average, median, by years. See that's by yearly. If we look at the yearly, you see there are changes in the data. and the highlighted areas are changed. For example, in 2019, we have, but one thing is 16 to 64 is always most, and 0 to 3 months. So if you would look at the average dermatology is the top, and then so on. Summary, patient, wait list analysis. Okay, so viewers, this is our summary page. I'm just checking if we missed anything. Always select average or okay. So you see that is we have a lot of outpatients. Most of the chunk is patients is outpatients, and in the inpatient we have different time bands and dates, and then we can further drill down to, for example, in the 2020 we have the darkest color, the March, and you will see we can further look into that what's happening here. For example, in 3 to 6 months, these are Syria, archive dates, specialty, and so on. And this is outpatient. So we'll consider this project to be completed, and if we missed anything, feel free to leave comments. And thank you very much, and have a great day. We hope there will be a lot of learning in this project, which is our main goal. Thank you.